A couple of hours into Dredge, Black Salt Games' fishing sim meets survival horror RPG, I've fallen into a familiar routine. Thanks to fantastic pacing, engaging progression systems, and fun, intuitive minigames, I've settled nicely into the quaint maritime town of Greater Marrow. My angling business is thriving, as evidenced by the plentiful coin the fishmonger pays for my daily bounties. I'm doing so well, in fact, I've been able to invest in a new fishing pole capable of plundering shallow and coastal waters, as well as a faster outboard engine for my customizable craft. The future is also bright, as I've earned enough research parts to invest in even better gear. And thanks to my ability to dredge supplies from the ocean's depths, I've started gathering resources that'll eventually see my ship upgraded with more space, better lighting, and a sturdier hull. Life for me on the archipelago is smooth sailing, so I offer to help some of the less fortunate locals. A dock worker seeks a better life up north, so I collect materials for her residents and ferry her to the new home. I also meet a grieving man seeking closure for the loss of his shipwrecked son. I dredge the wreckage, find the victim's belt buckle, and return it for some peace of mind. With my quest log expanding as quickly as the game's open world map, I return to a more pressing assignment I'd received from a mysterious chap living in a rundown mansion. Dubbed the Collector, the man had previously outfitted me with the aforementioned dredging equipment in exchange for an old handkerchief. The deal was unquestionably odd, but came with the promise of more work. If I brought him more relics, he'd reward me for my effort. First up was an ancient key located not far from Greater Marrow. I secured the artifact and immediately delivered it to the Collector. Strangely, he accepted it with more agitation than gratitude. Stranger still, he began flipping through an old book before a beam of light shot from its pages. My encounter with this man's seemingly magical tome was not my first brush with the strange or unexplainable. In addition to chatting up the eccentric locals, many who had warned me not to take my boat out after dark, I'd also caught some mutated fish, including a five-eyed mackerel. I'd also been swarmed by red-eyed ravens, and saw my hull damaged by a bulbous fish that was nearly as big as my boat. But while these encounters ran the gamut, from unsettling to ominous, none interrupted my peaceful routine or provided proof of the supernatural like this book. The Collector cryptically spoke of it holding power from the deep, a claim he backed by granting me haste. Described as otherworldly speed, the haste ability came at a cost. While it would imbue my engine with extra momentum, it also threatened to burn it out. On top of stressing my motor, haste came with the foreboding promise of straining my increasingly fragile psyche. With my tranquil existence overturned, I set out with a new sense of urgency, and fear, to find the remaining 4 relics on the Collector's list. But with my clockwork routine jettisoned for a feverish schedule, fueled by incoherent pursuits, I soon met my demise. As I raced toward the location of a coveted music box, I began to appreciate the benefits of the haste ability, but I also worried about my motor, which was threatening to overheat. My engine was the least of my concerns, however, because, as promised, my anxiety was beginning to boil over. As I pushed forward, rocks appeared out of nowhere, forcing me to steer clear of them. While I was able to evade these obstacles, I wasn't sure how to escape the red eyeballs now hovering above the surface. I ignored the menacing peepers, believing they were figments of my spiraling imagination. It was harder to discount the stretching tentacle emerging from the sea, however. I prayed the towering limb was another sign of my panicking mind. But seeing as it swatted me from existence, effectively ending my demo, I'll have to assume I'll find more than relics in Dredge's depths when it launches later this month. For more on the biggest upcoming games, don't miss our recent preview of Final Fantasy XVI. And for everything else in the world of video games, stick with IGN.